Okay.
So I bumped into Aiden, right, from we were actually part of the same mastermind, myself and these folks from Canada.
Okay.
And they came to me and said, hey, Cree, we have a 150 unit condo development
Yeah.
that we know the folks that are building it in Canada, and they were buying some of the units too. We're buying like 2 or 3 units, and we thought maybe we'd just pitch them on like managing them too. And I was like, cool, do it. He's like, well, do you want to help us? And I was like, if we get 10 would make sense.
Okay.
We'll make about $1,000 a month per unit, roughly.
Yeah.
So $10,000 a month would make sense. If we get 20, it's makes more sense.
Yeah.
We make a management company just for those units, just for that condo development in Canada.
Yeah.
And then we have a sellable asset we can sell at some point. Or we just manage it. We just keep it as a management company. So they ended up saying, hey, we need to get a website. We have this kid in Canada. I'm like, cool. So then me and this kid start talking, and I'm like, so what are you trying to do, man? He's like, I just want to build passive income, build a business so that I can eventually get into real estate too.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, why don't you just get into real estate? And he's like, I don't really know.
Yeah.
I'm like, can you just do like rent by the room? And he's like, dude, Canada's so expensive.
Okay.
It's like New York City, but less cash flow.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we do this, where we basically do contractor arbitrage? You work in your Canada rate, and we'll build out companies and websites and stuff down here in the U.S.
Okay.
And I'll be the sales arm, and then you do the stuff. And I talked to a friend who is in Denver who spent 20 grand on building out a sales and marketing funnel. I'm like, dude, we could build that for 5.
Yeah.
And get you results. And he's like, really? Yes. Because every time he sells a client, he gets 10 to 20 grand.
Yeah. Wow.
So I'm like, you only need one to pay for a good funnel.
Sure.
But he spent 20 to make nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why are you still spending 20 to make nothing?
Yeah.
Like the problem is your funnel's broken. And a funnel is a linear process that says, hey, you're interested in exterior deck remodeling, right?
Okay.
Yes? Tell me more about your project. Okay, great. When do you want it done by? Okay, gotcha. Do you want it done this week or next month? Yeah. Great. This week. Talk to JT.
Okay.
Next month, talk to JT, but we'll put you on a drip so that when you're ready, you contact JT. He can build that.
I gotta figure this out.
Or you hire it out.
Yes.
And you can pay hourly, a project basis, or you can pay commission when they sell.
Okay.
Like, you don't have to pay project. You don't have to pay hourly. If you paid a web designer hourly, it's $100 an hour.
Yeah. Wow.
If you pay them project, it's 5 to 20 grand. If you pay them commission, they build it for you.
Yeah.
And they get paid when they sell.
Okay.
A percentage of what you make.
Which is in perpetuity.
Yes.
Which is what you.
But they get paid when they perform, not whenever they present.
Sure. Yeah.
So like think about like Angie's Leads, Home Advisor, Airbnb, Verbo. They get paid when they get you a booking.
Yes.
They don't get paid at all. Until they get you a
Okay.
booking.
Yeah.
So the same thing with home services is that you can say, hey, listen, I can pay you money up front to build this funnel, and I can pay you for the advertising spend, or if you're open to it and you're good, let me just pay you when we get the job.
Yeah, I'd say yes.
I'll pay you $2,500 up front, or $2,000, $1,000 up front. Build me the website, give me the lead. Once I close on the business, you can record the call, and then I've closed the sale. I'll pay you a percentage, and they make more money, and you also have 0 upfront cost.
Great. My brain can only handle so much, buddy.
I know, dude.
My brain can only handle so much.
I can only present the information.
Yes.
I can't make you do something.
That's right. No, and I know that's anything in life. You're already drinking, man. You are enjoying that fistful of bourbon. Oh, yikes!
Better or worse than the shot collar?
Yikes!
Better or worse than the shot collar?
That was a little hot. They totally missed it. Which, by the way, guys, can you dial down the decibels back there?
I don't know. I'm coming back for some Rochambeau. Right?
Get some. Yeah, that's not the real Rochambeau.
Let's go.
No, you're not kicking me in the nuts.
Is that the game?
So let's ask Cree. What's Rochambeau?
When you're playing rock, paper, scissors?
See, exactly.
It's not.
It
Where are you
is.
from?
It's absolutely.
Round Rock.
This is from a different podcast we had, but it's totally that. Wow, this wrapper is.
What's Rochambeau?
Rochambeau is when you kick each other in the nuts until somebody can't take it.
I see. I didn't know.
I'm like, I understand shin kicking, but why would you kick each other in the balls?
Because that's what Carmen says to do.
Carmen who?
Cartman.
Cartman.
Carmen.
Oh, I think you said Carmen, like Carmen Sandiego.
I grew up. How old are you?
I am 32.
Well, I mean, you're almost my age.
Yeah.
Did you watch a lot of South Park?
I watched
Yeah.
South Park. I grew up on it.
And you
I didn't
know
watch
what
every.
Rochambeau
I
was?
didn't watch every episode. I mean, I watched like 6 seasons, but I didn't watch like all 34 or whatever.
Yeah, they have been on it a long time.
Yeah.
They came on when I was in college, which
Did you watch basketball?
some of it,
I
yes.
think I should sue them. Just my name Kenny. My whole life I've had to deal with emotional.
Yeah.
How many?
you're
And you've
still
almost
alive.
died a whole lot of times
Yeah.
too.
You're still alive too.
I know.
There you go.
Well, they eventually stopped it because
The likeness.
people like it. No, two people actually got real upset about it.
The likeness.
That he kept dying.
Yeah.
What? That
Did
was
you
the
ever
joke.
live in an area where you had to wear a parka?
No, when I was a kid, I lived in Alaska.
Okay, so you wore a parka,
I don't remember more. I was young.
a jacket, without a hood.
Kenny, you want some of this fistful of bourbon? Oh, you already got a glass.
That's good. The Fistful of Bourbon.
That's what we're reviewing.
For the price,
Yeah.
there's so much. Flavor.
Yeah, what did you pay for this? About $40 when you got it?
I don't think. I don't think
it's
so.
like $26.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
The girl at
Yeah.
Specs actually referred me to it.
Yeah.
I was like, "What's a good like everything?"
For a blended, that's blended.
Yeah, 5.
It's I think there's 5 different blends
Yeah.
in there.
Well, why don't you just sit down here with us,
It
Kenny?
is
Oh, that's hot.
amazing.
Yeah.
For the price, I don't like blended stuff, but that was actually really good.
Well, now that we're talking about it, we are reviewing. Do you want some more?
Yeah.
Well, we are going to kill this bud.
They opened it today.
No,
No,
we
no,
didn't.
we didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, we opened it like 6 months ago, man.
But it was up to like here. So
That
we've drank.
Mariah was drinking earlier. We opened that last Thursday.
Yeah, that went down.
I bought a bottle. I have a bottle up there.
Yeah.
So anyway, we are doing the Fistful of Bourbon. As you could hear off camera, Kenny was explaining it. 5 blends. It is actually, yeah, there we go. It is,
Cheers.
cheers. Oh, yeah, cheers. That's right. You got some in your glass. Cheers. So it's a blend of 5 straight bourbons. It doesn't say what distillery it's out of. It just says it's bottled by William and Grant Sons in New Jersey.
Surprising, because good thing I'm in Jersey.
Yeah, exactly. 90 proof, so very approachable, not super high proof.
All the Jersey folks, like David, they're gonna be like, "Oh man, Jersey's great."
Yeah,
man."
and Brendan is from there as well. They're both Jersey people.
Brendan Finsbaugh?
Brown, yeah, Brendan, yeah, they're both Jersey
Wow,
boys.
thank goodness he came to Texas.
They're both Jersey.
Thank goodness they both came to Texas.
Yes, exactly.
My friend who's down in Myrtle Beach right now.
Yeah,
He is like investing in like small apartments and stuff, and
Yeah.
buying short-term rentals. And he's like, "Man, I'm gonna do my best, Bill Winkler. As soon as I can get out of Jersey, man, thank goodness, man, because the taxes, man,
yeah, they are.
taxes are killing me, man." And this guy, he turned a 27 cap. So a cap rate is basically if you make $100,000, right, in a year net, then a 27 cap would be worth 2.7 million.
Oh wow, okay.
So he turned a 27 cap into like a 5 cap, which for real estate terms is like you're basically taking it from like $100,000 to like $250,000 a year.
Okay.
He turned this crappy shopping mall 5 units,
Yep.
5 or 10 units, and he made it rentable for each one of the tenants, and the tenants all pay him on time. He has a lawyer in one of them, and etc.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So like they all pay now on time. But he basically bought this thing, a 27 cap, and he brought it down to maybe not a 5 cap. It might have been like an 8 cap.
That's pretty good.
But the valuation of a building, right?
Yeah,
is-
yeah.
So think of it like Creekside is renting. If
Yeah.
the other 5 tenants are also renting, then the
Yeah.
guy that owns the building, he bought it and built it, the land, or he took the existing property
Yep.
and renovated it so that someone could use it. And then that value is worth a multiple.
Yeah, yeah.
So on a 5 cap, it's 20 times.
Okay.
On a 10 cap, it's 10 times.
Okay, yeah, makes it.
Took
Okay.
it from a 27 cap to less than a 10.
That's really good.
Yeah.
It means it's making a lot more money.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
It's value based on a multiple of whatever he. So he basically raised the value by like 4 times.
Yikes.
5 times.
He knows what he's doing.
Really humble dude. Cool dude.
All right.
But he sounds like, yeah, man, you know.
The taxes.
Yeah, the taxes are killing me, man.
So
I hope he watches this too.
Well, good. Well, he'll be like that impersonation was spot on.
Yeah.
So the nose, I guess I didn't really put the nose to it. A bright and expressive aroma. Pear and green apple. Ooh, wow, I do get that green apple. Holy crap.
Like sour.
Yes.
Sour
And
sweet.
mint before following with sweet corn and lemon. I
taste the
did
corn.
really get that green apple.
Yeah.
A lot. Says the palate, a nice layered profile. It's quite floral at first. Transitioning to lemon, corn, toffee, and vanilla and oak. Did you get that, either of you guys? Citrus notes. I really, that green apple is what I got. Finish here is saying the heavier flavors of the palate are carried over to the finish along with a touch of heat, anise, toasted nuts, and a dash of cinnamon before settling on oak. Cinnamon. It says adequate complexity intensity helps in the bourbon in a satisfying place.
I definitely taste a lot of flavors.
I really do too. It's saying really on the back here. Let's see. I'll give you the deets. Aged a minimum of 2 years. So there's probably some 2-year-old stuff. There's probably some 5-year-old. You know. So who knows what the combo is? But for $25 to $40, depending on where you buy it.
Yeah. I think we got it in specs.
I think it's pretty good price.
No,
I think that's
a Twin Liquor spot.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, that's a
Right.
Twin Liquor steal right there.
South of the hospital.
Yes, on 31st. I would give that. I mean, I've had a lot of good bourbon. I would give this. Ooh, this is gonna.
Don't put the bottle down.
Ooh, sorry everybody. Yikes! It's gonna probably sound really loud. At the price point and the flavor, yeah, exactly. I would give this a good 1.5 out of 2 stars.
Cool.
How about you guys? Rex?
What was the rating level?
Just out 2. Really out of 2. 2 thumbs up is really what we go. I would give it
No,
this.
what were the star levels?
I would do a 4.5 out of 5.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'd say 3.5.
That's about where I was going to stand. 3.5.
I think it's a good daily drinker.
It is.
You know, it's a good
I would say it's a daily drinker, yes.
Yes, I would say yes. It's a at the proof. It's not overpowering because some of it can get really hot. It's not hot. If you like higher proof, it's probably not for you. But if you like a daily drinker or some friends coming over,
Yeah.
I'd roll out the Fistful of Bourbon all day long. So here on the podcast, we give it a probably I guess about a 4 out of 5.
It's not a bad daily drinker.
No.
You
So
said 1.5 out of 2, right?
well, yeah. 2 thumbs up. Obviously, is you should go buy it right now.
Yeah.
1.5. Said if you see it there.
Yeah.
And you don't, it's probably a good mixer if you like to
No.
have Coke. I don't know what the
I would
blends.
mix it. I would probably mix it with Kentucky, like Kentucky Wild Turkey maybe, or like
So blend it again then is what you're saying?
no. I mean, I would probably mix Wild Turkey with Coke. You know, something that's like stronger proof.
Well, it is a little bit higher proof.
Yeah. I would probably just drink this one on the rocks. Mix it with a little bit of ice, you know.
It is, yeah, and if you need to cool it down a little bit.
It's
But-
definitely very, very smooth whenever you put it on ice.
Oh, yes. I mean, even now I don't feel any burn whatsoever when I'm drinking
And
it.
I have no stock in the company, so I'll just say that. I have no incentive.
Neither do I.
I just bought it, but at the same time, like it seems to be.
If they want to send us some money and send us bourbon every month, we'll represent them every month.
Just
if they want.
email them a link to the podcast and be like,
That's right.
hey, if you want us to promote your thing more.
That's right. We will drink Fistful of Bourbon all day long. It will be the bourbon of choice here on the podcast.
There you go.
Well, I'd like to wrap up here with a few questions, Creek. You've been very insightful on a lot of things, and I appreciate that. I'd like to just have you explain a few things for people maybe that are getting into business.
Sure.
Don't maybe have the answers that they're looking for, and so maybe you can give them a little guidance.
Sure.
And so I know you read books. What would be 3 books you would recommend people read? And they don't necessarily have to be business books,
Yeah.
but if they're all business related, that's absolutely fine. So what are 3 books you would recommend people read right now?
Yeah, so I mean, if they want to excel in business, I would probably recommend books around business.
Sure.
If they just want to get some insights on life, then there's some other books.
Yeah.
But I would probably say my top 3 business books
Okay.
are going to be Built to Sell.
Built to Sell?
Built to Sell.
So who's the writer of that?
I don't know. But
Okay.
if you Google Built to Sell, you'll probably find him.
Okay.
What was the name of it?
Built to Sell.
We got the producer on it over there.
Yeah. So the reason I like Built to Sell is because it's not a very heavy business book. It's
Okay.
more of a story, and it talks about a young advertising guy who's running around town like crazy trying to appease clients.
Yep.
And then his billionaire, father figure,
Yep.
father-in-law, I guess. He recommends that he just focus on one business.
Okay.
And you really dial in that business to make it sellable. And it takes a couple things. It takes systems.
So to sell the business is what his
Right.
start it and sell it to someone else.
Start any business to sell.
Okay.
Built to Sell, John Harlow.
That's the guy.
Okay.
So the idea behind that is it's more of an analogy book.
Okay.
Right? It's not so much like do this, then do this, then do this. It's more of like here's this entrepreneur's trajectory into business, and
Yeah.
here's how he was messing up, and here's how to fix it.
Okay.
He starts with a advertising agency, and he lands on logos.
Okay.
And the logos are typically he charges more for logos than anything else, and he realizes that his business is really logos.
Okay.
So he builds a smaller team, and he downsizes a lot of the waste in the business
Sure.
to get to the thing that he sells the best. And he ends up having a business that's sellable. And if every business takes this approach, then they will have a business worth owning and that's sellable.
Okay.
So if you take
Ooh,
that
I like
approach,
this idea.
my friend who's a really smart dude, he's a small tangent. He's a CPA who got fired 5 times and made 120 grand.
Okay.
Like being let go.
Yeah.
He retired to Panama or Colombia or whatever.
Jeez.
And then he came back and he drove from Tampa to Texas.
Okay.
And he turned me on to it. Another business that he turned me on to, a book that is about business that he turned me on to was Traction.
Yes,
And
you've told me about this book.
so Traction and Built to Sell are basically like, ice cream and cake. Right?
Okay.
You put them together. They're
Okay.
great together. So Traction is more of like the how to do it, right? It's the actual nuts and bolts of how to run the business so that when you build it to sell, you can actually sell it, but then you can also run it if you decide to keep it. And if you follow those two frameworks alone can help you build any business.
Okay.
Anything. I mean, lawn
like
care
this.
company,
Yeah.
gutter installation, renovations company, new home company. Like you put the right systems and processes in place, and then you have a sellable business that you can keep. And
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole point of a sellable business is that you're not in the business.
Yeah.
You just like take those 2 books, right? Not 5-hour work week, which is or 4-hour work week.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like, hey, this is all the cool things you could be doing, but like this is like step 1, step 2, right?
Yeah.
I think the 3rd book would be probably Rich Dad Poor Dad,
Yeah. Robert Kiyosaki.
because that really gets your mind around being an investor.
Sure.
Right? And so when you build a business that can sell, and you run the business so that it is sellable, but you can keep it. Now you have discretionary income, and now your focus should be on becoming an investor, right? Moving out of you have the 4 quadrants, right? The self-employed, the employee, the business owner, and the investor.
Yeah.
You move from employee to self-employed. Eventually you build a business to sell, now you're a business owner.
Sure.
Once you're a business owner, now you can move into the investor column, which is to elevate above the business and just run the business with managers and have an asset that's sellable. Now you can focus on acquiring more assets,
Yeah.
and you can really supercharge what you're trying to do. And I think that the other thing that I would recommend is that when you read a book, really digest the book, right? Read it and read it again.
Yeah, read it slowly. Don't just, yeah.
Listen to it on audiobook, buy the physical book, read it, and then go try it. Like start.
There you go.
I had a friend who was 18 at the time. I convinced him, right, through sales,
Yep.
to start his lawn care company.
Okay.
And he has built up to, I think, 3 trucks now. He's
Okay.
like 21 years old. And he's running 3 trucks doing lawn care. And
Oh,
he
nice.
told me his thing was he always wanted to own 3 trucks and have 3 guys out there on the road, 3 teams,
Yeah.
doing lawn care.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? He's like, I always want to own a lawn care company. I'm like, great. So go out and knock some doors. Say, hey, my name is. And then
Yeah.
I'm working on your neighbor's yard. here's my card. If you ever need lawn care, just give me a call. So built to sell is focus on one thing. Traction is here's how to manage it. And then Rich Dad Poor Dad teaches you how to go from one to many.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I had it now with understanding that. Now I might have to read that one again after I read these other two, because you've recommended.
Listen to them.
Okay.
You can be out on a job working, building a pergola, and listening to Rich Dad Poor Dad or Built to Sell.
I know, Audible, right? Everyone swears by it. I should just pay the $20 a month and just get it over with.
You get like 3 credits a month.
Yeah. Okay, so those are some good books. I need to actually
Speaking of which, another thing about Audible, one other little nugget, is that sometimes you'll get a credit for $16, right? Which is what you pay a month.
Yep.
You'll get access to books like Piranha Marketing.
Okay.
$75 course. They
Okay.
used to sell it for like $2,500.
Oh, wow.
So if you get that book and you take those principles, which is show up on time, do what you say you're going to do, finish what you start, and say please and thank you.
Yeah.
Take those 4 concepts and you do them in your business, you'll double or triple your business by 2 years.
I absolutely believe that. That's some of the biggest complaints that I hear from people I go talk to. And maybe I don't execute all of those all the time, but I do know that many of the customers I do go meet, they're like, wow, you showed up.
Yeah, you
Wow, the
actually
one-
said you're going to do something, you did it.
You've already disarmed them, and they're like,
Overwhelmed them.
yes, they're like, wow, I called
Pleasantly.
5 people and they didn't call me back, or this. A lot of times I like to just, when I talk to customers or people that have called me, I immediately ask them, what's your timetable? Because if they're like, well, I'd like it next week, like, well, my timetable is in a couple months. I don't want to waste your time.
I could see if I can pencil you in, but at the same time, like if you need it done that fast, I might recommend somebody else.
That's what, and they're like, wow, they appreciate that you still help them, and that you didn't waste their time.
Yeah,
And so
if you can find other businesses that do what you do, that do it and they're not as busy, you
Yeah.
can actually get paid to refer them.
and that's what I know. I don't want to say I'm such a nice guy, but I say, I'm like, I just like to refer people because so many people do that on my behalf as well. But
If they're good.
But I've found though, a few times here with customers, they're like, I don't care when you can be here. They're at least you call. They're like, you know what? If it's 3 months, fine. I will wait because you've already built that rapport with them, and I've had that. They're like, you know what? Just call me when you're ready, and then I'm ready to go. And I'm like,
Yeah.
give me the. And I'm like, so.
Chris Gregg. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
waiting until Wednesday to get my car in. Why?
Yes.
Because, like, dude, honestly, I've been to a lot of mechanics.
Yes.
Chris and Jenna are like the only 2 people that I really can just say, hey, here's my car. Do whatever you need to do to it.
Yeah, I trust that you're going to fix it the way it needs to. If it costs more, well, it's because you fixed something else that needed to be fixed. And
Yeah.
they always tell you exactly up front.
Yeah.
They don't just fix stuff because, well, we saw this, so we fixed it. They call you and go,
No, I mean,
Yeah.
he'll actually, he drove me to my house.
oh, yeah,
When I dropped off my car, we only had 1 car. We had a car and a motorcycle.
yeah,
Actually, we had a car. We didn't have the motorcycle yet. He drove me to my house,
yeah.
dropped me off, and then later on I drove back and then picked up the car, and he fixed what needed to be fixed.
Yes.
You can't undervalue honesty and integrity, because when you have that $1,500 bill and you're like, why?
Yeah.
Well, the right person can tell you why. Right? We
Yeah,
bought a
that's
car
true.
up in Grand Prairie,
Yeah.
and we drove it down.
Fistful of Bourbon talking there.
Right. Fistful of Bourbon. We drove that car down, and I drove it over to Chris' shop first
Yeah.
because I knew I wanted to get the car checked out. We bought it cash. We drove it to the shop, and he got it up on the lift, and he said, yeah, man, you need a new axle. And I was like, really? And he's like, it took me a minute to find it, but like I found out what was making that shaking sound,
Yeah.
and you need a new axle. So I was like, okay, what's it going to cost? And he's like, $400. Like, done.
Yeah, exactly.
Fix the car because it's my daily driver.
Yeah.
It needs to be safe for me and my wife.
Yeah.
And Chris and Jenna will just say, this is what it costs, it's fixed.
Yes. Yeah, and that's because yes, I don't know. We've all had that experience with a mechanic where it's like,
You cannot undervalue honesty and integrity.
no, you cannot. Absolutely cannot.
And to know, like, for example, you go to a chiropractor or doctor or dentist or mechanic or whatever, and they're going to keep you safe on the road. They're going to keep your mouth healthy.
Yeah.
They're going to keep your back healthy. They're going to keep your whatever working.
Yep.
Like, just pay them.
Yeah, because you're going to lose that much more money if your car's broke and you can't go to work.
5 to 10 times.
Opportunity cost.
Yep.
As you've alluded to before, which it's been a long time since I was in business classes, so the refresher course was refreshing. Are there any, maybe one or two podcasts you listen to that have been insightful and helpful to you, or would be insightful and helpful to those that are in business or aspiring business owners?
Well, besides the one bourbon, one cigar, one.
That's right. Oh man, the
business,
shameful
small
plug.
business
I love it. Shameful
podcast.
plug.
I mean, I listen to a lot of podcasts when I was
Shameless.
starting
I mean, not shameful.
out. Shameless.
Yeah, that would be awful to say.
That's shameful.
Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
Well, hopefully this podcast is really entertaining.
That's
but,
right.
I would say probably when you're starting out, depending on what business you're trying to start,
Sure.
pick something that's in your niche.
Yes. Okay.
Like my friend who started the lawn care company, he was listening to lawn care podcasts, lawn care YouTube channels, because a lot of times the stuff that's needing to be taught has already been done. You need to learn from someone who knows how to do it.
Yeah.
So
Which makes perfect sense.
we are in the furnished housing and investing business, right? We want
Sure.
to listen to investing podcasts. You're in the exterior remodeling and exterior renovation podcast.
Yeah. Listen to the yes.
You want to listen to stuff that's relevant to your niche.
Yes.
But you
Instead
also
of broad type of things, pick
you want to listen to broad.
exactly, but pick something that's
But narrow,
focused
too.
to yes.
Yeah, so pick one narrow on your industry niche podcast,
Yep.
and then listen to a general broad podcast.
Yes.
There's probably like 14 or 15 different podcasts I've listened to. I mean,
Wow.
like just in general.
Yeah.
But then also there's very niche stuff too. Like I watch a lot of YouTube videos. There's stuff that
Do
you
you
have
listen to Bigger Pockets at all?
yes and no.
Okay.
Because they have so many different niches.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Bigger pockets.
That's true.
And you could be a multifamily investor that wants to get into, storage units.
Yeah.
Listen to stuff on storage units, right? Listen to guys who are doing storage unit investing.
Sure.
Don't listen to short-term rental podcast people.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with your niche,
Yes.
right? If you're like, hey, I want to learn how to do better business stuff,
Yeah.
go listen to Traction, or like go watch Traction stuff or read Traction stuff,
Yes.
because it's going to teach you what you need to know how to run a business. Once you have that skill, then go listen to something else and go learn that new skill.
Yeah. That you can apply to your business.
Yeah.
Or
So,
whatever part of life.
I don't listen to podcasts per se because I'm not trying to be entertained.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with them.
No, yeah. You're
But
trying to learn. You're absorbing it and want to learn.
Well, I'm at the point where I've absorbed so much information that, like, I don't need more podcasts. What I need is more action.
Sure.
I need more people to help me build the companies.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I need more people that want to work hard, that want to be honest and integrable in their dealings.
Yeah.
To come and work for me. I had a person email me the other week that was like, hey, she wrote me an email about, hey, I heard you're hiring or something like that. I'm like, when? Says who? Like, where? I was calling I don't remember what company it was. Maybe it was like an HVAC company in Austin. And I ended up connecting with a VA. I was like, hey, if you ever need an extra job, give me a call. And then she emailed like 4 people.
Okay.
So like stuff like that, like get into the game.
Sure.
Absorb as much as you can. Dwindle it down to what is necessary, and then use it, and then go out and find the next thing that you need.
Okay. Yes.
Don't just listen to podcasts.
Yeah. Act on those things that you're learning.
Listen for an intent.
Yes. No. I absolutely. Well, yes, and that's. I mean.
You need a new skill on management. Listen to management podcasts.
I know. I need to. I listen to too many entertainment podcasts, so I need to.
Sometimes you need entertainment.
Sometimes I need to decompress, but no. Your
like
point
Friday
is.
night at 8 p.m. You just need like.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm turning business mind off, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to just decompress. But your point is 100% valid. Like, listen to things that are going to expand your thoughts on what you actually want to improve on. So, do you think it's important to be involved in your community?
100%.
So,
I mean,
what kind of organizations are you involved? I mean, elaborate on that a little bit, and then if there's any organizations you yourself are involved with.
Yeah. Things that you don't necessarily realize are beneficial, like, for example, volunteering in your local soup kitchen or volunteering with the local nonprofit organization.
Sure.
Giving back. Like, one of the things I really want to do is I want to go buy an old rundown apartment complex
Yep.
and then turn it into transitional housing. because there's a big need here.
Sure.
I was actually in Lions Club. In Lions Club, one of the speakers, he's a local nonprofit that runs a transitional home program
Okay.
that helps people from homelessness to home ownership
Oh, nice.
on a small scale.
Yes.
So being able to realize those opportunities and see how you can help benefit the local community and also create a business that's paid for by the government, right?
Yes.
You make money helping people. Weird, right?
Yes.
People think like that's self-serving. Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Providing housing is self-serving? Like the idea of like literally you're able to provide homes or roofs over people's heads and make a profit.
Yeah, that's not self-serving. I mean, you're serving two things, and that's what yes.
Right? Because if you make a profit, what do you have to pay?
Nothing.
To the IRS.
Nothing. Well, taxes, yes, you're paying tax.
Which
Yes.
helps the community how?
Yes.
To provide roads and infrastructure,
Yes.
programs, school, education, military budget, all that stuff. Right? So if you make a profit, you're actually serving the community.
Yes.
And if you're able to take people that are homeless, transition them from homeless into housing.
Yeah, you're taking the they're now
Yeah.
paying taxes or something as well and have a job. Yeah, yes, exactly.
So who gets
And they're not
rewarded
requiring
the most?
services from the community.
Right. So who gets rewarded the most for doing their work?
The community.
Entrepreneurs.
Yes.
By creating programs and systems that help people solve problems. So like being able to create a transitional housing development would solve a lot of problems and provide jobs and provide housing and provide taxes.
Lots
Right.
of pluses there for the
Right.
community.
It might take a little bit of sweat, a little bit of head bumping against the wall
Yeah.
to finally get it working.
Sure.
Once it's working, entrepreneurs benefit and so does the community.
Yes.
And the taxes are produced locally.
Yes, that's true. You're and well, that's it. Then you're supporting other small business owners and other entrepreneurs.
The challenge we have is finding people with honesty and integrity to do the work.
Yes.
That's what we
That
have to
seems
do.
to be in short supply for sure. How important do you think it is to build relationships through networking? And I know I asked this, and we share that commonality for sure. But if you could expand on that in any
Probably
way,
the most important part of your business.
get to know people, talk with people, other small business owners.
Did not realize that early enough is that if you create relationships, you can have opportunities abundant.
Yeah, and this is why I love, and this is something that's dawned on me. Well, I read a good book, and it's helped me. It's really opened up a lot of avenues just in how I approach small business owners. But hanging out, and I'm sure this is other people as well. But for me, what I recognize the most networking and hanging out with small business owners is it is the greatest incubator of ideas. So when you talk to people that go and punch the clock, they don't when you present an idea to them, most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time they're like, they approach
maybe
you,
not.
they give you all the reasons you shouldn't.
Yeah,
When you hang out with small business owners, they give you all the reasons you should.
right.
And so I love that aspect. I'm like, no idea is a bad idea when you're talking with a small business owner because
Well,
they help
give you
you
an
from
example.
experience, but they also,
Like- Hey, JT, give me all your money. I'm gonna just give it away to charity. Great idea, right?
yeah, well, I know it, yes.
Well, here's the problem with that. If I gave you all my money, I don't have any money to give later on
Yeah,
to my
yeah.
employees, right? So
Yes.
like, not every idea is great,
No, I just mean,
but they don't poo-poo. They don't poo-poo all your ideas.
no, they will at least, yes.
but
And
they
that's,
will. Hopefully, they will challenge your ideas.
yes, well, that's it too.
That's a great idea. However, have you thought about this?
And that's why I like it.
Yeah.
But they're not immediately like, that's dumb, you're going to fail. Like, okay. So, yes, for any small business owner out there, get connected with other small business owners because
Bless you.
they know the grind. They know get with all kinds, successful ones, masterminds. I know you've talked about that.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize that. But what we're doing right now, talking about business, is a mastermind. And I never even, figured, you got to sit down with a bunch of people or Zoom with. No. Sit down with someone and just start talking it out.
Yeah. That's why I like Rich Dad Poor Dad. The book, he talks through analogies, and a lot of it's probably not real factual information,
Sure.
but some of it is very solid business concepts. And one of the concepts he talks about is him and his friend, when they're 9 years old, they're masterminding.
Yeah,
They're talking through ideas, and they're looking at problems, and they're looking at, he gives an analogy of these comic books that the lady at the store cuts all the coupons out and then takes the coupons and throws the comic books in the trash.
Yeah.
And they say, well, hey, how come you're throwing the comic books in the trash? She's like, well, because we don't sell them, and when we don't sell them, we have to give them back we have to send these coupons back, we get a credit, and whatever else we have to throw it in the trash. They said we have to. It's like, well, did they say you have to throw them in the trash? Or did they say that you can't resell them? She said, well, we can't resell them. They're like, cool, well, what if we took all those comic books and made a library? We didn't sell them, but we rented them.
Yeah.
Right, so that's an idea of an incubator and testing small.
Yes.
And brainstorming, which I think if you get around other business owners,
yes,
they have experience. Like Val and Dwayne, they ran a horse company, like a farm where I guess they rented horses.
Yeah, they did carriage rides
and stuff like that. They bought a farm with horses on it.
Yeah.
Nobody else wanted to touch it. Like, wow, horses cost a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Well, they were like, well, how can we make this into a business? We really want to own this land. But how do we make this land pay for itself?
Yes.
They figured it out.
Yes.
So rather than trying to bump your head against the wall to figure it out, just go to Dwayne and Val and be like, hey, I got this idea of, I want to go around to all the local businesses and I want to put a little catalog in the businesses and I want to promote all the other businesses. Like, well, how much does that cost? I don't know, maybe $1,000 a month. Cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
Right, $1,000 a month. Take all the businesses from around town, stick them in a book, give them to all the businesses for free.
Yeah.
And cross promote everybody.
Yes.
Right, and then every time someone calls off that number, you get $1.
Yeah. Yes.
$1. You come over here to Creekside Cigar based on the phone call from that book, $1.
Yeah.
Hey, we got you 500 phone calls, $500.
That's pretty sweet.
That's an idea of,
yes,
hey, they already have experience running a business. Is this a good idea? And they're like, what's your risk?
Yeah.
Printing the material.
Yes.
Driving around town, dropping it off at all the businesses. Asking them, hey, can I promote your business for free?
Didn't we used to call that a phone book?
Well, I have something to talk to you about off camera about an idea I want to do that helps promote my own business as well as a bunch of other small businesses.
If you put together that book...
It's not the book, but it's something similar.
Here's the idea, though. If you put together a card or a book or whatever, you put your business at the bottom, the back of the book, and every book you distribute is marketing.
Yes.
For free. Because it's paid for based on the referrals you generate. So if you make $5 that month.
Yeah.
But you made one customer sale at $5,000.
Yes.
Now you bought that customer for free.
Yeah.
Plus your time.
Which is minimal in that respect.
When you pay someone to go deliver it for you.
Yes. Well, here now, since I ran this by a couple other people. Tell me what you think of this idea, because I love small business owners. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to just this be for me. So I have this idea for my business cards, which are old school, but it forces people to go to others. So a promotion I'm going to do in the near future is I'll give you 10% off your project.
Sure.
But you have to show me 8 business cards. Now, these 8 business cards are separate business cards that you yourself went to these businesses and got these cards.
Okay.
So it's a scavenger. You can show... They're going to be specially marked business cards. Like I'd put one in Creekside, one at another small business.
Yeah.
So if you can show me these 8 different business cards.
Yeah.
So the hope is now you've visited these other small businesses and now you've gone in and visited them and so they let me leave the business cards there for free.
Right.
Free promotion.
Sure.
Which a lot of places will do. But now you've learned about some other small business owners and now you go and patronize these places.
Sure.
So now not only am
you're growing other businesses by referring your own business.
Exactly.
So take one step further and say, show me 8 receipts from around town.
Well, there we go.
And I'll give you 10% off your next
That's
project.
a great idea. Well, that's even better.
Because now what you've done is you've proven not just that you went to the business, but that you patroned the business. $5, $50, $100, I don't care. Spend any amount of money.
Yes.
Anywhere in town. Give me 5 receipts or 10 receipts.
Well, I see what you're saying, but I would have specific. But yes, I like that.
You don't even have to spend the money.
That's the next evolution in it. Yes, which I like.
You don't have to spend the money on the business cards. Just say, hey, go spend money with 10 other businesses in town, and I'll give you 10% off for shopping local.
Yeah. Ooh, see? So do you think that's a good idea?
Sure. I mean, I'm going to spend the money on my business anyways.
So the hope is
Well,
that
listen,
if other business owners do this,
if I spend the money on the business anyways, and it's a write-off, and it's almost like a credit card rewards program, but I'm spending money locally, and you're rewarding me for doing that.
yeah.
What are you doing?
My brain is not thinking so
You're
well.
stimulating
Yes.
the local economy.
And people's businesses. So the other full circle on this is that by helping other businesses out, it just happens that they'll figure out a way to help you out as well.
Maybe.
And that my goal is
If
not.
you just say, hey, I'll tell you what, every person you refer to me that becomes a client of mine, I'll give you 5% off your next project. Or $100,
See, I've thought about that
$100
stuff
$100
too.
off your next project. Limit of 5, right?
See, and for me though,
So
I
you're
don't
not-
do a lot of next projects for people. So
You're not discounting your projects to 0, but if you discount your projects by, say, 20%,
yeah.
you're making a little bit less profit, but it costs you nothing in advertising.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Well, you're multiplying your money for sure.
Yeah, because you spent nothing
Yes.
to get that client.
Your return, yeah.
But you're encouraging them. This is game theory now.
Yes.
You're encouraging them to spend money here, not on Amazon,
Yes.
not with Costco, not with some faceless corporation in Korea,
Yeah.
Samsung, or
Yes.
whoever,
I know what you're saying.
right? H Mart, O Mart, Q Mart, K
Yeah.
Mart,
Yeah.
right? You're saying, hey, if you spend money at these 50 local businesses and you bring me 10 receipts, I will give you 5% off your next project.
Yes.
And for every person that refers me, I will give you $100 off your next project.
Yeah. So then the hope is that if
No,
other
there's no hope.
No, I'm no.
There is no hope.
My desire then with that.
There's
I'm just thinking,
hope in humanity and life, but there's no hoping that something works. It's results.
No, but my desire. No, so doing this, my desire is that other small business owners go, and so we all start working together.
You start talking about it on your podcast and be like, "This is how I grew my business 100% with no advertising."
And this is why I thought more about the book that I love so much, is The Go-Giver, is caring more about other small business owners before yourself.
But you build it with build to sell and traction, with the idea of you're going to exit the org chart, and you build these mechanisms in, right, to grow your business, and it benefits the small business owners.
Yeah, not just yourself.
It's creating a game that's worth playing.
Yes. So what you just watched is only a portion of the interview. To keep watching, hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell to stay up to date and continue watching the videos in this segment. Peace.